Hello, good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. My name is Obinna. Welcome. It's another day. It's another day. I want to share with you. Tired of being unemployed. Tired of being unemployed. You have to take drastic decisions, drastic measures to change the situation. Not much. I think there are very few things that come close to being fit, wanting to work, and not finding a job. There's not much that can come close to it. They push themselves to send you to school. You have completed the school, and for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you have been trying to find a place to work, a job, and it seems to be very difficult. And you have tried whatever connection that you have tried. You have talked to people. People have promised you, introduced you to people. They have told you that they have connections with government people, ministers, top company, CEOs. You have written a lot of aptitude tests, gone for a lot of interviews, and for years you have not had it. It's very, it's a disturbing situation. Your friends that you completed school with, those who care, because not many of them will care anyway. When you are in school, your friends, when you complete, most of them, when they find their way, they will not even remember that you were friends in school. And so you try to find a place, and it's been tough. Some people are fortunate to, find somewhere to work. Usually, when you are doing the national service, you know, just about the time that you're about to, finish the national service, the companies, especially the government ones, will be telling you, it is our policy for you to go so that other people will come up, come and do the same thing that you did in the national service. It's very disturbing situation. You would usually get tired, and there are facts. The facts are that we are producing a lot of people out of these schools, and we are creating very few jobs. So very few people are going to get the so-called jobs readily. Just after national service, just after school, you're able to secure some kind of employment and you engage. Majority of us, majority, especially those of us who did general courses like psychology, sociology, those kind of courses that when you finish, there is not that much specification in terms of job for you. So for instance, if you did information studies or something like that from Legon, or you did Arabic, or some of those courses, there's not much that you there's not much. If somebody did graphic design, or somebody did, let's say, civil engineering, or somebody did, let's say, courses that are cut in terms of the technical preparation, they may have that. They will know where easily to go and find some kind of job. And there are courses that nobody's, the jobs are not there for those courses. And even if they are there, they are very few. So we are producing a lot of guys out of this. Or we have a lot of public universities now. We have a lot. They have converted all the polytechnics to public universities anyway. And then we have a lot of these private universities who are offering courses, business management, marketing, all these courses that are generic. It's not so much. And so you can be there for 5 years and you don't have anywhere to go. And it's very it's frustrating. And some of them will just say that, okay, then maybe I have to go and do, you are looking for what is it, scholarship to go to everywhere, Germany, go to Russia, go to Ukraine, go anywhere just to go and do something because you are tired. The fact is that it's not a good situation to be in, and nobody wishes that for anybody. But a lot of people will find themselves like that. If the statistics were right, I think that most of our youth, maybe 30% or more, are unemployed. Those are the facts. and we're still producing a lot of them. They are telling us we should go youth into agriculture and youth into all kind of things. If you move through town during the working hours, from 10 to maybe 4, you still see a lot of young people in town moving around. Why? Because they just have to find something to do. This is Accra. How about those in the other regions? Those in Tankradi, those in Sunyain, those in Kumasi, those in Bolga, those capital areas. How about even the district capitals? And so those are realities. And if you're waiting for a situation to change from outside, I don't know. It may not happen in your lifetime. We don't know yet. Because the government themselves, the government is employing maybe 600,000 people, and they are saying that they even want to cut down. So it's not a good situation. You're right if you say you're tired of being unemployed. But there are a few things that you can do to possibly change the situation. Maybe, So I think you should look at some of the things that you can do to change the situation, because it's not a good thing for a young lady, a young man to want to work. The what they call the unemployment, I think, the people who see it as a major issue are the people with the so-called degrees. They see it as a major issue, because I remember when we were growing up, we used to hear graduate unemployment, it was on GBC. It was very popular news item, graduate unemployment. Then they would add brain drain or greener pastures. I used to hear those words a lot, and I think they're still there. And so, if you find yourself in that kind of situation, it's not good, and you probably have to do something about it. You don't have to wait for anybody to help you. That's the fact. You just have to do what you have to do to change that situation. If you don't have any job, then that is possibly another thing that you have to do to make sure that you find a place that you're going to work, because that's it. It's not good. Even some of the people who have, I remember there was a time that there were a lot of people who had finished training colleges looking for place to work, and it was tough. It were even doctors and nurses. It's always in the news. They say that they can't find, they are not getting postings and things like that. I will not go to those. I am talking of the general guys that people don't care about. You went to tech to do sociology, economics, some of the courses, engineering. 3 years down the line after national service, nobody is giving you a job, and you seem to be very worried. And what is the way forward? The point is, you don't need to go to Libya. You don't need to go to Italy. There are things that probably you can do to change the situation. And the first thing will be the way you think about it, how you see what's your understanding of yourself, what's your understanding of the economy, what are the numbers? Do you have any idea the numbers and what they are? And do you have a strong strategy as to how to get the job? If you are having a general plan like everybody else, maybe you're like me, you're from the village, and so you came to Accra, so you just move from one office to the other. You give, your CVs, and you're hoping that they will call you. The thing is that when you're fresh, there are a lot of jobs that they don't need a lot of technical things. There are a lot of degrees. For instance, if you're a bank clerk, you don't need a degree to do that. If you are counting money in the bank, you don't need that. So there are a lot of people like you who can do the same kind of jobs. Very few jobs are specific, technical, and most of the people who have not worked for all this while don't even have those kind of technical skills anyway. So the thing is, you have to just have to find a way of entering the so-called job market. You have to find a way of entry. You have to find a way. In that case, you may have to drop your ego and sometimes your so-called degrees that you have. If it has to be cleaning job that you have to take, if it has to be office assistant that you have to take, if you have to even drop the degree certificate that you have and go with SHS, any job that you have tried for 3 years, 4 years, you're not getting any entry anywhere. You just have to go and say that I want a place to work, even if it's 100 Ghana. Because the thing about it is that people can go to look for work and they go with their specifications. You have been at home for 4 years, 5 years. If you don't take care, you can be at home for 10 years and you're not getting a job. So if it is taking you a while not to get a job, then forget about the so-called degree that has made you to think that you deserve some kind of specific job somewhere. And then just go and enter. It can be construction field. It can be security job. It can be anything that you think you are better off. Because the fact is that there's no anything that you're better off anyway. The only thing that makes you think that you're better off, you're better than some kind of categories of job is because you think that you have had some kind of education and you think that you have paid some school fees. Maybe you are right, but if it were so, then why don't you have a job? And so the fact that you are in a critical situation that the job is not there would mean that forget about defining yourself with those at the moment. Look at how to enter the job market. Enter the job market. And when you enter, let them know that you really have had that kind of education that you say you have had. If it's cleaning job, you become so good at it. If it's security job, you become so good at it. You can do what 10 people can do. Let your name, if you enter, just because the truth is that if you want a place to work, if you want a job and you didn't have any specifications, it's likely that you may get one in the shortest possible time. Because if you go to any security company to say that I want a place to work, and they interview you and you qualify, which by all means you qualify because of the kind of so-called education, the kind of confidence that you have more than maybe the other. You would. If you went to any cleaning company and you said that you wanted a place to work, you would. So just look at the basic. Have a plan, but you need an entry. So if it has taken 4 years, 5 years, and nobody is picking you, just go anywhere where you think is better than. Maybe it's a primary school or a crèche or somewhere that you just have to enter. Enter the place, maybe call center, anything that just because it's taking you 4 years. I've not had any, and it's frustrating. And you are thinking, oh, I'm looking for work with a Stanbic Bank. I'm looking for a job, as a branch manager of maybe UT Bank, something like that, and you're not getting. It has taken all these years, and nobody is still connecting you. If you're the ones who gave you so much assurance, you went there, and it didn't work through. Just develop your own plan. Just develop your own plan and enter from any stage. And don't be so much sad or weakened because of the kind of entry that you're getting. Because when you enter, every business has other positions. The cleaning company has managers and supervisors. The security company has managers and supervisors. Every company has people who maybe have the same kind of education that you think you have. But if you go to the top, they may not take you. They may not take you because after all, you may not even have any specialty in terms of maybe management or technical skills or something like that. Maybe you go to construction field and say that I want to carry blocks or something. You don't know. But if you enter and if you enter and you do so well, your name will start to go out. They will start to, add more work to you. And you will not have any idea. You have no idea. Whoever can come and look at what you're doing. The next day, your name is going somewhere. And the next day, they are recommending you, they are giving you more positions. They are saying this. The next time, you see that they are giving you another position to say that come and do this. So the problem is not so much that there are no jobs. The problem probably is because the approach is so high for you, because there are a lot of people like you. They are producing over 300,000 of them, maybe every year. And we are not creating that jobs like that. I don't know how many companies that that are employing thousands, producing a lot, we are producing a lot. And so you just have to have a defined approach as to how do I get, into this kind of stream. If it has to be a contract work, you just have to take it. Take it, even if it's 2 months, take it and see how much. Because the problem is, because you're occupied with the so-called education, when you enter, you're not present, you're not committed, you're not there, you're not giving all, you're not doing extra. But if you want to enter and grow a career, a job, grow a profession, anything that you have to enter and become so good at it. Become so good that your name will start to go out. They will start to recommend you. They will start to say that this person is good. This person has what it takes. Some of the things that may have contributed to you being unemployed for all these times, sometimes maybe the kind of course that you read, the kind of course that you read. And sometimes the fact that you don't have maybe any technical skill or managerial skill. And sometimes bad work experience or bad work ethics. Because all of them will ask you for experience anyway. But sometimes it's not so much the experience, it's the ethics. You probably, the first national service or the national service that you did, when you were even going late, and it didn't show like you wanted to be there. So they saw you as not an extraordinary guy who they could count on. So probably even your sessional manager did not even know you because you're not making any impact there anyway. Because you thought that you didn't need to work there. And then you come to the end of the service and nobody wants to recommend you to anybody. But if you go there with the right work ethics, the presence of mind, the diligence, if you're able to overcome the laziness, then maybe your name will go somewhere. Maybe your name will go somewhere. Maybe your name will go somewhere. So look at how you can sit back and plan and say that I have to change this approach. Because you probably, and the other thing is that some people will just also say that, okay, I finished this course, it's not good, so I want to go and do another professional course. So the little money that they have, they go and start ACCA, they will go and start computer something. They will continue to another school and count all the 4 years that they did in the university as if it was nothing. I think what you need is really good work ethics and entry point than going to do all these courses. Some people, after the first degree, have about 3-4 certificate courses, and yet they're still unemployed. Because the problem is not the certificate. Really, the problem is that if you don't have the right approach to getting the job. And sometimes you may also be relying so much on introductions from people you think are prominent and who may have connections to give you some kind of link. Almost all of those people, they also have children, they also have family people. So sometimes the people that you are waiting at home counting on that if there is an opening, they'll connect you. Those people probably when the opening came, they didn't even remember you. So don't count so much on somebody. You should count so much on your effort. And look at how you're distributing the CVs as well. The CVs, look at how you are distributing them. Some of them will send CVs and there's no even contact number on them. And when you go, don't give it to those secretaries who ask you, do you have appointment here? They are used to keeping the CVs under their table. So try to get to the person who can make a decision on the CV. It's very much important. And if you are dropping, let's say, 3 CVs a month, I think you should do about 30. Go everywhere. After all, you have nothing to lose. And if, in as much as you are dropping the CVs at the top level, get busy somewhere. Get busy. Go to any company that you think the entry is not so much high. And you tell them that you're ready to work. Plead. I remember there was a time that I was in school somewhere and I needed a job badly. So I went there, I went to the restaurant, and the guy was an Egyptian, so he looked like Arab man. So he said, "Hey, where you come from?" I said, "Ghana." So what do you want? So let's say I need a place to work, I need a job. So okay. I went there with CV, said, "Okay, are you ready? Then tomorrow come." So just go and just tell the person, "Listen, I need a place to work." Sometimes just start pleading, "I'm ready to work." Even though the so-called salary is important, just find a way of entering. Just find a way of entering. So if they are paying people of your category, you say you have a degree, so maybe they are paying them 2,000, 3,000, because you need a place to enter, and you have been around for 4 years, 5 years, there's no offer. If they tell you 500, don't go and debate on the salary. Just look at how you can enter. And when you enter, impress them. You will not ask for them to raise your salary. Just impress them. Just be ready. Just take the load. Ask for the difficult jobs and perform. If they are good people, they will not ask, they will not wait for the end of the month. They will start to look at this guy is making a lot of difference. So why don't we pay him more? Everybody who is sensible is looking for the work, the one who gives a lot of effort to the work. They will not want to go. They will not want to let you go. That's a fact because every company is looking for people who are committed, who are productive, who can get results, who are honest, who take the work seriously. Every company that you hear, no matter how many years that they have been around, they are all looking for people who can bring results. So if your focus is just, oh, they are giving me 500, I don't want it, so I will not take it. I will not. But meanwhile, you have been at home for 4 years. Why do you let the 500 or the 1,000 stop you? Just enter. So far as you can get some trotro, fair, the TNT and get some wache to eat, you just want to enter and make a mark. That's all that you want to do because that is the only approach that you have now. Because after all the people that you counted on have failed you. So now you have to have a good approach. And when you enter, let them know that you came to work. You didn't come to play because there will be people who are there who will try to tell you, why is this work for you? Why you worry so much? Why have you taken the work? Those kind of people will be there. And some of them have been there for years. So they will try to talk to you and influence you badly. But you must have an agenda. That I've been looking for work, I don't have it, nobody. I remember there was a time that I went to a place and I was telling the guy, listen, I just need a place to work. The guy agreed. The next day I went, he said, no. I think you guys are, you look like somebody who's proud, so I cannot employ you. So if somebody gives you a place, don't take it for granted. And don't go and copy the negative culture, the negative people at that place. When you get the entry, the person who gave you the favor, the person who said that come, because that word that he said, okay, you can come, that phone call, that WhatsApp text, or that text message that said that come tomorrow, come and work. That place, that person who gave you the access, never take that person for granted. And so you go there, your whole decision is to go and work and impress that person so much that he will start to give you more opportunities. The more they start to think of adding more work to you, adding more load to you, it means that they think that you're good. And that is what you want. So when they start to add more work, when they start to say, can you stay and do this? When they start to say, can you come over the weekend and do this? That's not the time for you to start to complain and cry. Because this is what you were looking for. Why do you think an opportunity is? Opportunity is work, it's responsibility. Opportunity. If when you say that you're looking for opportunity, it means that you're looking for responsibility, you're looking for work, you're looking for duty. And so when you get that entry, don't forget that person who said come. And do everything to impress that person. Do everything. Organize yourself so much that they can give you. If everybody, let's say if it's a sales company, everybody is given a target of, let's say, 5 items sold at the end of the week. Give yourself 50. If everybody is supposed to contact 10 customers, contact 100. Because that's what you want. You are entering, you know that the work that they have given you is not according to your degree. It's something that anybody with anything can do. But you have been at home for all these years. Nothing. Your friends look at you, they laugh at you. Your parents themselves have even given up on you. And they look at you and say, this boy, we paid all these school fees and he has nowhere to go. Some of them will even start to go and ask that, maybe there is a case somewhere, that's why you're not getting a job. Those are not it. There's no case. The statistics are there. We have produced a lot of graduates. We are not creating enough jobs. So you just have to have an approach. If you're not the son of the minister or the cousin of the president, where somebody can easily place a call and say that, take that boy. And you are like any ordinary, which majority of us are like that, No father to connect you, no mother to connect you, no uncle to connect you. You and your God, you have to fight. Those kind of people, just have a strategy to enter the job market. And when you go, don't take it for granted at all. Develop so much quality of work ethics, so much quality of character that when you show up, the whole work will change. So you bring so much results, you're so much credible, you're so much honest, you're always thinking about how the work will develop because that's how you become better. And so it's not you can be a doctor, it doesn't matter. Just get an entry. Even if you have to become a cleaner or somebody who writes the card at the hospital, don't be so much choked with your so-called professional training. If you have been at home for all these years, you're not getting job. You're not getting. So just have a way of entry. If you have to go to, let's say you're a cook and they are not getting you, but you can go there as a cleaner, enter the restaurant as a cleaner. There will be an opportunity where they will be tested. They will say that, can you do this? And when you do it and they test it and they say, no, this is different. What is your background? Where did you do school? What did you do? It's not your duty to go around to be telling people, me, I've gone to school. If it's not any assembly and coming Muhammad, no, those kind of things are foolish. If it's not, there is a situation, there's a problem. That's why I've taken this, I've lowered myself. There's no need for you to go and say all those. Don't go and hype yourself. Let your works speak for you. Let your performance speak for you. Let somebody come to say that. So where did you train? What's your level of education? Where have you worked? Because your things are different. You do things differently. You organize differently. The way we can give you more and you can go to sleep. When we come, you have done everything as expected. Can you do that? Those are the things that have to speak for you. It's not your mouth going to say that, we all went to university and now, because we don't have any job in the market, that's why we are taking this, to just to while away time. You're not whiling away time. Every work is work. What makes it different is the person doing it. So when that company gives you that opportunity, don't play. Maybe it's a security officer. Just do it. Do it well. Do it with a smile. And every work that you're doing, that you're working with people, front, have time for people. Respect people, show dignity, represent your company well. When customers come, that's not the time to go and talk badly about the company. Every company has problems. So when somebody comes and they're asking all the bad things, make sure you present the right things. Develop your maturity so much. Develop yourself, mature so much that you can separate all the bad things that you see in the company and project the good things, because that's what people relate to. If I come to your company and you're telling me all the bad things about the company, I don't think the company yes, the company may be bad, but my first thought is that you're a bad person. Because if you think this company is so bad, why are you working there? If you think that company is so bad, why are you working there? Why are you wasting your time there? Why are you talking badly about the people who pay you every month? But it's the culture. It's the culture. It's the culture. And so whenever, yes, Stephen, your work will speak for you. So just decide. Forget about, I did agric engineering and I don't have anywhere to go. That's why I've come here. If they put you in charge of the tractor and they say clean the tractor tire, clean it so much that it will show. They will ask you, where did you learn this? Where have you been? We've been looking for people like you, because everybody, if you don't know, even the president of Ghana, is looking for people who you can trust, who you can depend on, who can get results. Everybody, I tell you, the richest people, they're looking for people they can trust, they can give the work to, they can depend on, the people who can work selflessly, people who can shut their mouth and get the results. Those are the people that they're looking for. So even if you didn't do a course that gave you some bit of technical expertise, there's something that you still carry, and there's something that can still push you forward, and that is the kind of personality that you have developed. So they can say that sit at the office, you are the receptionist. Doesn't matter. You have degrees and so what. Become so much friendly, so good, so much effective that everybody who comes through the company, they look at you and they'll be asking of you, where did you get this girl? Because all the top people, the industry players, when they come to the place, the way you respond, the way you connect issues, the way you speak, they will know this one is different. And that is how you start to move forward. That is how you start to get more offers. That is how you start to become great. That's how you start to get access to interviews. So don't go thinking that, I'll just screw them and move on to the next stage. No, you're not. Become so good that you start to move by the good that you have become. The connections. Ordinarily, in the culture, the way we do it in Ghana is that if somebody introduces us to another project, another company gives us another offer, we go there, we are looking at connections, we go behind them. That's why you get stuck, because it means that you don't have quality of spirit. So look at the kind of things that you can use just to get any work. Even if it's a farm work, go and do it. If it's a laborer, go and do it. You never know. The difference is how you do it and who will show up to see you. So when the people are saying that I've been tired, I've finished all this school, I struggled to pay school fees and I'm not getting any job anywhere, nobody wants to help me. Sometimes it's the approach. It's the approach. It's the approach. A lot of the times it's the approach. If you don't have the strength to start your business and you want to be employed, it's the approach. Go for the interview. And when you go there, present yourself as somebody who is credible, somebody who is looking for a place to work, somebody who is not driven, looking for just money. Because if I'm interviewing you and I see in your eyes that you are only interested in the money, but not in the work, I don't want to employ you. After all, most of the interviews that they are doing for most of these people who are looking for a job, the fact is that if you are so much a technical person, if you're so much unique, you will not be unemployed for that while. That's the fact. Anybody who was so much good at anything and understood maybe and the kind of work that they do, very few people know it, they will not be unemployed for long. So the fact that you have been without a job for years would mean that you're the only one deceiving yourself that you have a lot of special things. No, what you have, anybody else, they can train. Most of the time, the place that they can train anybody to be there, the places, the work, the kind of positions that anybody can be there. And most of these guys that we are producing from all these universities in our country, marketing, administration, HR, all those people that we are producing, psychology and all those African studies, they are all general people that you can train to do anything. They are not coming with any specific. Even those with engineering and those, they still coming with just theory. You have to still give them a lot of technical training. So they are not looking for so much special person. They're just looking for somebody with a good heart and good work ethics, somebody who can be committed, who can be dependent upon, and somebody who has some level of honesty and trust, and somebody who can be present to work. Those are the kind of people they are looking for. So you are competing. Sometimes you're not even with people with the same kind of education, sometimes even with less education. Because you have had people who just good, because they have good heart, they can get results. Because you don't need a lot of technical skills, technical expertise to do most of this job. Most 90% of the job market in our country don't need a lot of technical understanding. That's the fact. Not why a lot of the things that they do in the bank are maybe just a few people at the top. The rest, those in the bank hall and everything, is not so much unique. Anybody at all can be trained to do it. So the difference in how you work, the character that you have developed, the personality that you have developed, that's the difference. And that one, if you want to get through, then it can be any level. It can be any level. It can be security job that you can get through it. It can be cleaning. It can be anything. It can be teaching. It can be nursing. But when you enter, the way you carry yourself, then will take you to the job that you really wanted. You really wanted. So if you have been at home for all these years, yes, it can be frustrating, but stop complaining. Stop giving up on the country and on yourself. The fact is that we have a lot of you like that, and we're still producing a lot of you. And I think we should still produce a lot of people who are educated. We need them. But the fact that you have finished that school does not mean that they should give you a job. The rest is your duty to go and push. And it's not, don't wait for your father to be calling his friends to give you a job. Go out yourself. It could be painful. You could feel bad about it. You may even blame yourself and feel like something is, spiritually wrong. There's nothing like that. Just go and push yourself. And don't be so much weak within. If you go today and they reject you, go again. To have a defined entry point. You probably will go to the restaurant and work at the kitchen. It doesn't matter. Work. But the reason you are taking that kind of level of entry is because you just have to prove yourself that you're good. You just have to prove yourself that you're good. If you have to go to Makola and work with some of the businesses there, just go. Make difference. Wherever that you show up, make difference. That is what is important. So lower the standard and go. And don't just raise the standard so high because you think your friend that you're better off, you're better than, has some kind of job somewhere. So you think, it's not like that. One of the easiest way to enter some of these areas probably will also be your ability to go to the interview and present yourself as somebody who can start with anything that they give you. Anything, because 30 to 40%, 50% of our colleagues are going to be at home for the next 9 years or 10 years before they get a place to work. They said at that time they were reading this, they said that it's about 3-4%, just about 2-3, 1%. No, 10%, sorry, of people that finish school are able to get work within the next 2-3 years. A lot of them will continue to be at home. Why? Because they have a specific definition of what they call job. So if it's not a bank job, if it's not Tallow, if it's not Anglo Gold or Newmont, if it's not MTN, if it's not Stanbic Bank, Barclays Bank, then for them it's not a job. It's a lie. Because a lot of these people are not. If you put all of them together, how many people are they employing? How many is MTN employing? I don't know. But it's not 10,000, And if you look at all these banks, go and put them together, how many? So there will be other places that the company may be employing 3, 4, 5 people, and you may go there to make changes. And the fact is salary. If it's salary that you're looking for, if you get into any business and you bring progress, normally, majority of the people, when you bring results, they will increase your salary. Most people will just start to increase. They will start to look at the impact that you are bringing, the difference that you're bringing. And some of those companies, you could work there and do a lot of changes in your life, a lot of changes in the company, and maybe even help companies to grow. So when you're looking, don't just look for these so-called big companies. There are companies with 1, 2, 3 employees who may have good business, may have good model working, but who may lack people who can put their heart to work. And once the business is credible and it's making revenue and it can grow and it can scale, when you are there, you can bring progress. It's the same money that they will pay you. Probably they'll even pay you better. And it gives you an opportunity to also learn more. And so, tired of unemployment? Maybe you are, but you have to just have a different approach to getting your way into the job market. And the so-called small and medium level businesses are the ones that employ a lot of people. So you may be looking at them. And when you go, if the owner cannot read, cannot write, that's not a place to go and think that you're better off because you can read and write. It might not be so. Because it takes more than ability to read and write to start a business. So if that gentleman, if that woman has started a business and you go there, because sometimes when you're talking with a lot of these companies, they're even scared of employing people with degrees. Why? Because when they come, the way they talk, the way they behave, and the dishonesty, it puts a lot of them off. You don't go there to say that if this person who cannot read and write can do this, then me I can do more. No, the strength to start a business is not in reading and writing. So when you go there, give them the due respect, and you can. Some of you with accounting background, there are a lot of companies who are looking for people to help them put their books together. A lot of companies like that who are looking for people like you. But you will not go because you think that your friends will come and of course your friends will come and laugh at you. Your old schools, masters and teachers will come. Probably your parents may not even be proud that you work in such companies. And that's a problem. Yes. Because they are thinking that you get a job at commercial bank. And now you are saying that you with Inoma and Sons. And what are you doing there? I'm a clerk there. They think that is not. The fact is that it's a business. If they can grow and pay you well and you work and the workload is there, It's a business. They just have to do some few things right. Okay, and sometimes you may be the one to bring those things on board. All right, and the fact is that every company signs the risk of collapsing. Don't you hear some of these companies collapsing? So every company is vulnerable. It's not like there's a company that has mastered everything. No, no. So there are things that you may have to change in your mind. And when you're present, be committed. Show that you care about the company and you want to bring value. Your pride should not just be because they pay you. Don't show up to work and just wait for the salary. Show up to work and be proud that they're paying you something that you work for. Or sometimes they even pay you less than what you work for. And develop a good personality. Develop a personality that is not only self-interested, self-focused. Every decision that you make is only about you. That's a bad approach. And I think that is why most people don't get a place to work that fast. Because they're so much selfish, so much self-focused. Every decision that they make is only about themselves. There are a lot of people like that, people who have finished these so-called schools. Every decision that they make is only about their interests. They never make any decision for the long term and for the good of others. So why would somebody even employ you in the first place? There was a time that I was talking to this guy and he worked with this other guy and there was they didn't pay him. The company was struggling or something like that and he wanted to take them to court and say, what do you need that for? If they're genuine people and they were struggling, why do you take them to court? But there are a lot of people like that who just, these graduates, they are the ones destroying the people who start business and who are even thinking not to employ graduates. Because they have tried some of them, and when they went, they screwed them. They lie. They complicated issues for them. So what's the point of them employing when they are little? And yet there are so many little businesses that could employ 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so if you have 1,000 of them, and each one of them is employing 1, 2, 1, 2, at least you have about 1,000, 2,000 people absorbed, just like that, through these small businesses. But the experiences that they have had with the so-called people who have gone to college, it's been terrible. Terrible. They will not focus on the work. They will use their time to do something else. They are not present. They are not proud of the work. The only thing that they show up to do is to collect the salary. Don't develop that. And that, I think that's why they are not able to start from nothing. They are not able to start with any menial job because the self is so much high. The self is so much high. And they're so much particular about what society thinks of where they work. That's probably why you are tired of not being employed. That's why. Because you are so much focused. And the time that you have on your hand, all this while, you're watching video, watching TV, watching football, wasting the time. You're not adding value to yourself. The time that nobody is employing you, add value to yourself. Study, learn, read books, develop a skill, think, go for seminars. Because wherever that anybody gives you opportunity, whatever that you do there is the investment that you have done to yourself, the investment that you have put in yourself. So if you think that you're tired, the moment you come to the point that you think that you're tired of being unemployed, it means that you have not focused on becoming better yourself as an individual. You left yourself. You didn't develop in your skill, in your psyche. You didn't add value to yourself. You didn't read any book. You didn't become better at anything. You just focus on waiting for job. And that's not it, because when they give you opportunity, what will show up is the value that you have, what you have added to yourself. And you should never come to that point where you say that you're tired of being unemployed. There is always an entry point. There's always something that you can do to change that situation. So don't sit at home and let them be laughing at you. There's something. Even if it's a cocoa farm that you have to take a labor job, take it. If it's a school somewhere that you can go and teach, go and take. It doesn't matter the salary. Just start something. You start to think. If you have a plan, the entry point is nothing. It's just like business. If you have a business idea, it's not so much how high you start the business. It's so much how little you start the business. The same. So when you're looking for a job, it's so much how little you can get an entry. And then you push in all your energy there, the situation will change in a year or two. It doesn't matter how you start because it's always starting small. And it's not only with business, it's also with life and everything. So don't just focus on your self-interest and pitch yourself so high. There are people who never start business because they want to start it in a grand style. That's not how you start business. In that case, when you fail, it's big. Okay, so the same when you're looking for a job and it's not coming and nobody's connecting you, just look at how you can start with that little that you have. And look at how you're spending your time because you want a job, you want a place to work. And if somebody does an introduction for you, when you go there, be present, be honest, be credible, work. Don't steal money, don't steal their product, don't steal their connections, don't steal their contacts. Go there. If it has to take you years for you to buy a car, do it rightly. The fact that your friends are driving and building houses does not mean that you should be doing the same thing. Have a value system, have a value structure. Don't maltreat people who give you opportunity. Don't take granted. Don't take people for granted. Just show up as a person who's credible, because that's what is the best investment. You know, when people can say that this guy is a good person, nothing works like that. Or somebody can say that this guy. There are people that when they work somewhere and they even leave the place, they're always looking for them. Because when they want somebody who can do it and be honest and be hardworking and be selfless, there are very few people like that. Can they recommend you like that? Or when you went there, you destroy everything? Every money that they passed through your hand, you cheated it. If you had to go for invoice, you added something to it. If they told you to be in charge of something, you gave it to your friends. Those are the things that a lot of them know. Doesn't matter. So sometimes you even get the entry and they sack you the next day because you went there with baggage, with negativity. You didn't develop yourself. Everybody is looking for somebody who's intelligent, who's hardworking, who's honest. Everybody. So if you develop these things, there's no way that you won't get a place to work. You'll not be tired at home. And everywhere that you start, if you show up with these things, it will grow. You become. Even if that place does not grow, another person will come and see you. Or you get ideas. You get where something. It's just these are just natural laws. So thank you for watching. Thank you. So don't be tired. Just have a strategy and drop your CV so low that you can get an entry. And when you go there, be a good person. Be a credible person. Work hard. Stop complaining and lying and gossiping. And don't waste your time. Get the results. And don't worry so much about the salary at the entry. Become so good that they will continue to add and increase you and give you more offers. We have had people like that who came and their mind was just to get a place to work, and they prove it. Once they prove it, naturally you would want to give them more and you want to review their salaries, because that's how it is. So if you're the one talking to you every day about salary, it means that you're not good. Because if you're very good, they will add something to you. And just be a good person, be a good character, be hardworking, and drop the way. Have a strategy. You can become anything just to get an entry into any job place. When you go there, prove that you can do. You can be dependent on. And don't go there looking for ways and means to make the quickest gain. It's a waste of time. So thank you very much for watching.